before the mayhem started, there were 246 people strapped in their seats, getting ready to take one of 4 airplane flights. There were 2,606 people at work at the complex known as the World Trade Center, the Twin Towers. There were 343 firefighters wondering if it was going to be a very busy day with such a beautiful, pleasant, cloudless, summer-like day in New York City that day. 60 police officers, probably thinking the same thing. 8 paramedics. And all these people would be dead by 10:30 in the morning, New York time. Worst terror attack in American history. And we are still in Afghanistan, the country that hosted the terror training camp. You're listening to The Commute with Carlson Talk Radio 570 KVI. Yes, we do have the Genuine Auto Glass studio lines open for you at 206-421-5757. Outside King County, got 1-888-312-5757. You want to make sure you're listening to the Kirby Wilbur Show, because, quite frankly, 18 years ago, I was doing afternoons, and I was in bed when the first tower was hit. And Kirby was on the air. And you don't want to miss his program. You don't want to miss it anyway, but especially today. It vividly recounts what that day was like on the air as this was happening in real time. All right, let's get to some local news. We know just how abysmally the city of Seattle, King County, has dealt with the issue of homelessness. A little bit of context: in 2005, Seattle, King County held a partnership, held their hands aloft and said, we are going to cooperate. We have a great partnership to end homelessness in the city between city and county government and service providers. We will end homelessness in Seattle. People like me said, I don't think that's going to happen. Homelessness did not end. Homelessness...
We're doing a traffic service.
Okay. Well, somebody called because they thought you were
sick or something.
Yeah,
I figured something might happen. I've been doing so much of this, I doze off occasionally.
Okay. Well, your tabs are expired too.
Wait.
March 19th.
Oh, lovely.
We get a chance to get some new ones.
We will, thank you.
Okay, see ya.
So guess what? Last week, they say, we're teaming up again. And this time we're going to create a new layer of government that's going to help solve the problem. And King County Council member Reagan Dunn had enough and came up with his own plan. Here's a little bit of what Reagan Dunn came up with.
Seattle has become a dead-end street for the nation's homeless. We see that with 45% being here 4 years or less.
That's why King County Councilmember Reagan Dunn is ready to set aside $1 million to give Stephen and others a one-way bus ticket out of town.
A family reunification option free of charge for folks who are chronically homeless on our streets who think they can get better care or more help by going anywhere else across the country.
It's modeled after Homeward Bound in San Francisco. The 14-year-old program has been averaging 800 tickets a year at an average cost of $270 a ticket with a $10 meal voucher. That's a yearly cost of $244,000. But you add in the administrative costs, the city is spending $1.2 million a year on the program. And San Francisco politicians count every one as an exit to housing. Dunn knows his idea is controversial.
And we better start thinking about how we are going to move people back out of the community who want to, because right now no one has the courage to talk about it.
And they talked to a homeless guy who said, makes sense to me.
A 3-day trip to get from down south to the north.
Stephen came to Seattle in March by Greyhound bus from Houston, seeking a new life.
Was it a free ticket for you? No, I paid for it.
But things haven't worked out. The admitted intravenous drug user lives in a camp known as the Tree Line along I-5.
Would you accept the bus ticket back to Houston? Yeah, I would. I'll take the bus ticket back to Houston.
Stephen is ready to leave Seattle now.
Why is this idea controversial? I mean, what is the upside of keeping people like Stephen here, living like they're living? What's the upside for Stephen? What's the upside for the community?
I've been doing so much of this.
Tell you what, let's talk to the guy who is basically zigging while the entire Seattle homeless industrial complex is zagging. Let's talk to Reagan Dunn. Hello, Councilman. How are you, sir?
I'm well, John. Thanks for having me on the show.
Okay. First of all, I saw the Seattle Times basically said, Reagan Dunn wants to bust these people out of town. So even with that kind of loaded language at the front of the Seattle Times article, and what I think is kind of a biased presentation, the comment thread suggests that a lot of people think that either A, your idea makes perfect sense, or B, doesn't go far enough.
Yeah. Well, John, you got to remember that we have the highest per capita homeless population anywhere in the United States of America right here in Seattle. 45% of our homeless folks have been here 4 years or less. So we really have become a place where folks are streaming into from out of the state. So we got to figure out a way. We have to put together a tool as one tool in many in our toolbox to fight homelessness, and one of them is a mobility program, and some of the most liberal communities in the country, like Berkeley and San Francisco, championed by then Mayor Gavin Newsom, now the governor of California, a liberal Democrat, put together these programs called Homeward Bound to move folks out of communities and into other states where they can be reunified with their family or perhaps a relative or close friend that can put a roof over their head. So it's a very important program. And there's empirical data which we're happy to talk about why the homeless want it. 9% or about 1,000 of our homeless in King County are telling us in the one-night count that the family reunification efforts would help them into permanent housing. So let's take them up on that. It's 1,000 people of our 11,000 off the streets. We could probably move in very quick order.
What reaction are you getting?
Well, it's highly polarized. But what's interesting to me is...
Well, no. I want to know more about the polarization. Tell me about the polarization.
The polarization is, I would say that sort of anyone right of center completely agrees with the program. The overwhelming majority of independents agree with it. The non-profit industrial complex, if you will, that's sort of feeding from the public trough, doing great work to be sure, but also...
No, they're not. They're failing.
So here's the thing. If you're on a board of directors and every year your agency serves 20% more people, you're succeeding. But that isn't the metric we care about. How many people spend the night on
That's the metric of failure. If they're serving more people, more homeless people, that means that the problem is worsening. And that's how they gauge success. You've got it exactly right.
Yep. We got to care about who's on the streets, and so that's why I'm worried about sort of a blank check and a new level of government to all these social service providers with the 11-member unelected board of experts appointed all there just self-dealing to their organizations. We have got, I represent a suburban and rural community. I'm not anywhere near Seattle, and yet I have to ride in here and try and put some leadership forward because I do have an obligation as a regional leader to do it. And you just look at the Seattle Democrats just blink their eyes like, oh my God, here's an idea. Oh, you can't criticize it because Democrats all across the country have championed it. It's amazing the lack of leadership, and what it is, they're just utterly perilous.
I would not search for common ground on this one because you won't find it with the Seattle, because they've proven they're not interested in evidence. They are driven entirely by ideology. So I would basically call these people what they are, failures.
Yeah.
They have spent nearly 15 years spending hundreds of millions of dollars, making it's, I believe, 195 million a year, making the problem worse. And you know what? We're going to start doing something new, and we're going to start doing something different.
Yeah, I think the citizens should have a real voice in this, John. I think there's a lot to be said. The Regional Policy Committee, chaired by Pete Von Reichbauer, meets today at 3 o'clock, taking public testimony on that new proposed level of government right there at the King County Courthouse on the 10th floor. Folks should put their input in, but even then, I think we should go beyond that and get the citizens to lead on this issue, since the leaders, your elected leaders, aren't doing their job. They have no political courage, and they are failing.
The other thing that I would do is there is a model that is working in King County. You know where it is?
Tell me.
Burien.
Yeah, Burien's good.
Burien has looked at Seattle, and even though they elected a left-leaning city council just in the last couple of years, they moved to the left. Their city council is following evidence, not ideology, and so they are doing it completely different from Seattle. They will enforce the law against you. They send police and social workers, if you want to call them migration teams, go ahead, and they'll say, look, you've got 3 days, and we want to help you, and there are places you can go and services you can access, but you cannot live here in the park, you cannot live here on the street, you cannot live here on the highway median, you have to leave. And if they don't, they will arrest them. You know what? Visible homelessness has all but disappeared. The formula in Burien is as simple and straightforward as enforce existing law.
Yeah, enforce your codes. Yeah, and enforce Seattle isn't doing it. And a lot of smaller towns around King County are doing that in various forms, some more visible than others. And it's pushing a good percentage of the homeless population into Seattle, where they do none of that. And so that's why 52% of the county's homeless population is in Seattle, even though about a third of the population is there. And it's the great unspoken truth, and I'll speak it. Seattle's sort of a word for it, but it's called the comfort factor. And if you make it completely comfortable for your homeless to be in a community, they're going to go there. If you make it discomforting for them, then they'll leave. And so, this family reunification effort is a purge valve for that kind of activity that's happening in Burien. If it's discomforting enough and you have a broader base of contacts and places to sleep in a different state or town, heck, we'll pay for your one way. And again, you said 195 million. That's exactly right. This is $1 million. This is 1/2 of 1%. And we could move 1,000 people every year with this.
And you'll move more than that if you enforce the law and the people say, well, I have a choice. They're making my life miserable here. I thought I'd be able to just hang out. That's what all my friends said last year. I could just come out here and hang out. But no, now they're telling me I can't. So, yeah, I'll go home. Yep. And, I'm going to drop a name for you. Denny Hancock. Denny Hancock from Mama's Hands has been helping homeless people for 25 years. And you know what his standard is? The gold standard for helping homeless people get out of their situation is getting them back home with someone who loves them and cares about them.
Yep, family reunification.
Anyway, listen, I salute what you're doing. I think it should be an initiative, a county ballot measure.
Good idea.
And make something like this out. Let's talk about it further, but I just want to thank you for stepping forward and going in a new direction, Reagan Dunn.
You bet. My pleasure. Thank you so much, John.
You bet. Someone, finally, not only has common sense, but is standing up to offer a better alternative. You're listening to the John Carlson Show, Talk Radio 570 KVI. A reminder, with autumn weather now upon us, great time to get those carpets of yours clean. And Alpine Specialty Cleaning, the great place to do it, a place that we called. They'll send out the revolutionary super truck for their top-of-the-line carpet cleaning process. It ain't like the other guys. It carries its own deionized water, cleans naturally, a nice, healthy choice for your family and pets. That Super Trek has 265-degree steam, and extreme extraction power cleans those carpets at a much higher level, giving them a nice deep sanitizing clean. They dry in half the time, and Alpine Specialty Cleaning will move your furniture for you. No wonder they've got 5,500 five-star reviews online. They've been trusted in the Northwest since 1969, over 50 years. I tell you what, get in touch with Alpine, schedule your appointment, and they'll take 35% off your bill if you tell them that you listen to KVI. Again, mention KVI, they take 35% off the Super Truck carpet cleaning process. Just go to alpineclean.com. One more time, alpineclean.com.
Hello, it's Brian. And Brendan. We have exciting news. Now we have 2 Northgate Rare Coin locations to serve. We're opening up a second location in Linwood, just minutes off of I-5 on 164. Now is a great time to come down to Northgate Rare Coins. With everything happening politically, geopolitically, in our state, city, county, it might not be a bad time to look at investing in some gold and silver. KVI listeners love us because of all the things we do. Currency exchange, buying and selling of gold and silver, your old jewelry. You buy that too.
I like going to Northgate Rare Coins. People are really friendly, really helpful, just a positive experience. Give me a fair price.
Northgate Rare Coins is the place to buy and sell your precious metals and get top dollar for your gold and silver. And there's always free expert appraisals. Now, 2 locations, Northgate in Seattle and Linwood. Call or stop by today. NorthgateCoin.com.
We're looking forward to seeing all our KVI listeners at our new location in Linwood, just off the freeway on 164.
Time for today's edition of Growing Your Wealth, presented by Madrona Financial. Here's Brian Evans.
Today I want to talk about Delaware Statutory Trust investments. Last time I talked about different apartment complexes you can get into, how they might react if we have a recession or if we have a boom time. Another very different area is called the net lease investment. That's where you're investing into properties that are owned by either retail outfits like drugstores or auto parts stores or different kinds of tenants like that, or it could be like an Amazon lease. It could be all different kinds of businesses that are leasing instead of individuals like we do with apartments. Now, some of the common features of these is you can have either what's called investment grade tenants or non-investment grade. I prefer investment grade. I have a better feeling that a big company like Amazon is not going to move out and not pay their rent than I would maybe Joe's Repair Shop. And so that's a big component there. Most of these kinds of leases are a triple net. What is a triple net lease? That means that the tenant pays the rent, the insurance, the repairs, the taxes, all the expenses related to the holding. And some of them have corporate guarantees where even if they moved out, the corporation, as long as it's still in business, still has to pay the rent. So there's a lot of analysis that needs to go into it when you're choosing the investments, whether you're buying your own investment in 1031 exchange or doing a Delaware Statutory Trust. And our job is to help you navigate those decisions.
And that was Growing Your Wealth with Brian Evans. Madrona Financial. Investments, retirement, taxes, and legacy. MadronaFinancial.com.
Get your free copy of Brian's latest book, The Complete Book of Retirement. It covers everything from the basics of retirement planning to passive real estate investing. Arm yourself with information and take control of your retirement. Call Madrona Financial Services today at 844-MADRONA for your free copy or visit MadronaFinancial.com.
Blue Emu's deep penetrating and odor-free formula supports healthy muscles and joints. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink.
Conservative with a capital C. This is Talk Radio 570 KVI.
All your little tweets on Twitter Street. Love to see them update, tweet. Every little follow, every big lead, every little tag in the big cloud tree.
All right, this is the portion of the program where Philip J. sets aside what he calls tweets from twits.
Our investigation into the left side of Twitter. Jay Inslee, on his personal account yesterday, tweeted out the following about his record on the environment and climate change. Yeah. He says, we don't have to choose between protecting the economy and protecting the environment. Washington State is proof. We have the #1 economy in the nation, and we're making bold moves to defeat climate change. But he's leaving out some pretty important parts of his conclusion, that if he would have had his choice, we'd have carbon taxes that would probably be tripling our economy here in the state. And certainly as it pertains to congestion around this area, I don't know how he thinks that he's doing a great job with any of those things.
That's just the beginning here. It is coming up on 8:30. Your headlines straight ahead. The Commute with Carlson Talk Radio 570 KVI.
Is a new kitchen in your plans? You're probably thinking months of mess, tens of thousands of dollars, and huge hassles. Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft, and it just doesn't have to be that way. Our specialty is custom cabinet refacing and quartz countertops. With Heritage Homecraft, custom means built from scratch just for your kitchen. In about a week, we'll reface your existing cabinet boxes with 1/4-inch thick solid hardwood. No veneers or laminates. We can make design changes, add cabinets, install custom features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves and other cool touches, and top it off with a beautiful quartz countertop. Rather than subcontractors, we have our own team of professional craftsmen who make it easy and comfortable to have the kitchen of your dreams in about a week and save thousands. Don't put it off. Have us out and let us show you what a Heritage Homecraft custom refacing project looks like in your home. Give us a call, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
If you want more power, free up the exhaust, and you can get that done at Stan's Headers, 4715 Auburn Way North in Auburn. Tom Turner here for Stan's Headers, a complete exhaust manufacturing plant, including mandrel bending for kinkless exhaust. For anything related to exhaust, Stan's Headers in Auburn, a true friend of the best auto show in town, the Northwest Auto Show, 6 to 8 a.m. Saturdays on KVI. Is your Saturn sluggish? Call me Saturday morning, and I can help.
Flower World in Maltby is truly a world of flowers and a whole lot more. Shop local produce at their Maltby Produce Market across the street. Tomatoes, peppers, broccoli, kale, lettuces, green beans, and many more. All grown in Flower World's fields. Green beans and pickling cucumbers are picked every day, and the first apples are being harvested. Check out the many flavors of cider vinegar like lemon ginger, lemon turmeric, blueberry, and the very popular fire cider vinegar. Flower World in Maltby. Check flowerworldusa.com.
KVI, Kirby Wilbur.
If you don't go after the bad guys, you're going to have more bad guys. For all you people out there who think you understand guns, you want to do something, go after the people that lie on the application to buy a gun and the background check form. These are the bad people. These are people who are felons or fugitives from justice who shouldn't have guns, and yet we don't prosecute them for lying. Why not?
The Kirby Wilbur Show, weekdays 3 to 6 p.m.
18 years later, the nation pauses to remember.
America was attacked on September the 11th, but America took the fight back to our enemies on that very same day. Not on some foreign battlefield, but right here, in the skies above these fields, where the heroes of Flight 93 were forged.
Vice President Pence at a ceremony that just concluded in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, to mark the anniversary of the September 11th attacks. After leading a moment of silence outside the White House, President Trump went to the Pentagon, where 189 people were killed.
For every American who lived through that day, the September 11th attack is seared into our soul. It was a day filled with shock, horror, sorrow, and righteous fury.
And that ceremony was held as memorial services were going on at Ground Zero in New York City. Daria Albinger, ABC News.
Talk Radio 570 KVI News. Now.
Good morning, I'm Eric Hines in the Como 24/7 News Center. There are several local events planned today to commemorate the 18th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. Among them, Seattle will host a ceremony beginning at noon today at the Seattle Center Memorial Garden. Marysville Police and firefighters will host a ceremony at the Public Library starting at 8:30 this morning. Edmonds firefighters will host a ceremony at Fallen Firefighters Park beginning at 9:11 a.m. West Pierce Fire and Rescue will hold two ceremonies. The first at Lakewood City Hall at 11:45 a.m., the second at 5:30 tonight at Fire Station 31 in University Place. A homeless camp in Olympia was supposed to be cleared out today, but the city keeps it where it is for the time being. The city and neighbors have raised concerns about fires and water contamination at the camp. Everett High School is open today after rain flooded the lower levels of 5 buildings. The district says the damage was minimal and is planning to request a waiver from the state to avoid using a makeup day at the end of the year. And the Mariners beat the Reds last night 4-3. Today's weather forecast is coming up.
KVI traffic.
Well, the hits just keep coming, literally. Now, most of the trouble in the South Sound area, West 410, near 254th, we now have a new crash. This is blocking both directions of 410 in the Bonnie Lake area. What a mess that is. Midland, crash blocking the westbound direction of 512 at Canyon, making for a mess there. And then also the car fire north 5 near Chamber Way, that's in the right lane. In Silverdale, north 5 at Trigger Avenue, still have that crash in the left lane there. Judith Larson, Talk Radio 570 KVI.
For more than a year, the whole of Vermont was captivated by the hunt for a runaway golden retriever. Read Catching Murphy, the latest book from the Associated Press. Available now exclusively at Amazon.com.
Checking our KVI forecast for today, partially sunny with a daytime high of 70 degrees. Cloudy skies for tonight with a low around 60. And for Thursday, partially sunny with a high of 75. And for Friday, a few showers, the daytime high expected of 70. From the Como 24/7 News Center, American on Talk Radio 570 KVI.
If you've ever had a conversation about home remodeling project, you know it inevitably involves three main topics. Was it done on time? Did you go over budget? And was it stressful? Lars here, and if you're planning a remodel, Matt and his team at Renovation Resolutions have perfected a process ensuring that your kitchen or bath remodel will stay on budget, on time, with far less stress. Renovation Resolutions is completely transparent in how they price and bid your project, so you never go a penny over budget, and they guarantee it. Matt, the owner, also gives free in-home design advice with a ton of insights. He can help you with ideas and give you a realistic timeline on completion. Renovation Resolutions takes care of everything start to finish. Or if you just need to pick out finishes like cabinets, countertops, tile, and flooring, you can buy them wholesale at their showroom. They work in the South Sound, and you can schedule a private appointment at their showroom in Sumner, too. Learn more at renovationresolutions.com. That's renovationresolutions with an S.com.
Some say 3 is a crowd. We say the more the merrier. Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays 9 to noon. KVI.
It's 8:35. The John Carlson Show, Talk Radio 570 KVI. Appreciate you spending some time with me today. You know, there has been an ongoing effort, a deliberate campaign underway to demonize some wonderful people. I'm talking about the people who work for Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE officers. ICE officers are responsible for enforcing immigration law in the interior of the country. So if someone is in the country illegally, particularly if they commit a crime, they come to the attention of ICE. But advocates for illegal immigrants have tried to demonize ICE officers in order to get local, always liberal, governments to distrust them and make it easier for them to refuse to cooperate when ICE is trying to deport someone who's here illegally.